They'll be calling you a radical. No rest for the weary. Oh my God, it's like all the news in 6 years breaks in one day. You know, the Great Pacific Genocide, I've been saying this collapse. This is major, major, major breaking news. You know, look, people argue and say, oh, we had record runs last year on the beta line. I says, yeah, wait, salmon go to sea for 5 years. So, record runs. So, one of the tribes, and I love it, you know, the Seattle Times is so disgusting. They even, I mean, some of these news agencies, they report it as Indian tribes still. I mean, after all these years, it's like we go backwards over and over. So, some of the tribal activists, there's some great tribal activists. The son of the great tribal activists has come out and says, we're done. So, we're not going to fish. We're heartbroken. This isn't about economics, you know, finally. You know, he says, there's no fish. There's no fish. So I got a call this morning. I've had 2 tribal council members, which I talked to over the years of Fukushima. You know, 2 called me today. One of inside the tribal council inside Oregon told me today. He says, we're not fishing, period. We think that maybe the pinks are extinct. That was his exact words. We think maybe the pinks have gone extinct. And this has all just happened this year. Salmon go to sea for 5 years. So, I mean, it's all happened. So Obama sneaks it out at the very end. I mean, cover up Fukushima. That's all Obama's done is cover up Fukushima, cover up Fukushima, cover up Fukushima, cover up Fukushima. What does he do right at the end? And this got snuck out. I had to dig to find this. Nobody's reporting this. And I finally found it, getting reported on a local television station, which all the good stuff gets reported on local television. It's the one place you ever find it. That he declared 9 different fisheries in the state of Washington, Oregon, Alaska federal disasters. And the review of the Mitchell Act, which I know is going on. That review's been going on for his entire presidency. He waits to the last day to put it out. The Mitchell Act is the subsidy that goes to the fishing industry. 1938. A couple decades ago, they switched it from the Department of Agriculture to the Chamber of Commerce has got it. And that's all just promoting fishing. So they've been accused of corruption by me for years. Well, so it comes out and it says point blank right in it. It quotes the Endangered Species Act. Well, in the Endangered Species Act, they're for a reason. So when numbers go to a certain level, it's closed automatically so they don't go extinct. How come Obama did not emergency close it under the Endangered Species Act? I want to know that. And the derelicts in the EPA and the derelicts at NOAA, you got a lot of answering to do because we're going to pin your asses down. This is a big, big deal. You're derelicts. You didn't do your job. That's against the law. That's against the law. What you did, you violated the law. You want to overturn the Endangered Species Act, Rob Bishop, our scumbag right here, who is trying to do it, and the Antiguas Act. I mean, and they just re-elect these scumbags. They don't even know their congressman is. We hate Congress, we hate Congress, we hate Congress. This country re-elects all of them. You can't just make it up. You have a law. You know, where's the international community? You mean the salmon go to sea for 5 years? They are in I love how you call it the pasture. They're home. It's not a pasture. It's the Pacific Ocean. The Great Pacific Genocide. So it's all breaking at once. So this is 3 different natives council members. 2 that I've talked to personally. 1, Tim has talked to another one. And 1 did an interview last night. It broke today. It's out on the wire today in Seattle that they're done. There's no fish. They're not going to fish. And he says the relations between, you know, the so-called commercial retail native councils is lows. He says he wants to heal them. You know, it's like I said for years. Like here, they're arguing on water on Blue Castle. You know, up in Oregon, we're going to switch allotment from 80 to the gill netters to the 70%. You know, like I say, when I'm up in Oregon, when I've been in Idaho, you know, in the houses, 80% of 0 is 0. 5% of 0 is 0. 100% of 0 is 0. How can you fish when there's no fucking fish? And that's what I've set up and down California the whole time. So I walked the entire country. I want people to, it's important to remember that I did this full of ammo, leukemia, critical condition. All this historic work. So I think I'm going to do Lonnie's show tomorrow. You see why. So maybe you panty painters can get mad and you can call Jules and cry, oh, Blanche uses foul language, get rid of him, you know. I'm so sick of you sissy panty painter fake activists. You know, the real ones, you all know who you are. Come on. You know, we need good keyboard activists, and we got them. You know who you are. You move the information. But this isn't about view count, never has. This is about recording a history. So I remember when I was doing my PhD, my MBA right here, I'd have to dig and hope somebody did some work, you know, posted it in a library that I could find it. And I found a lot of good stuff. I was working on a PhD, you know, and the stuff that I find is usually, you know, and they put it out into the domain. Why do you think Aaron Swartz went in there? Because that's what they've changed. They changed it all to peer review so they can guard and they can control the information. Obama went along with that. You know, this is the greatest crime in human history, the Great Pacific Genocide. And I will simply say it like this. To think that the greatest nuclear disaster in history, multiple nuclear reactors completely blew to smithereens on March 11th. And ongoing, TEPCO's own words, we're relying on yet to be developed technologies to cure this. We have no handle. There is no way. You know, all the ships sent in. To think that energy being poured in the Pacific Ocean, which you don't even know, which I call it plutonium, to think there's no byproduct for that. 2,150 days. To think there's no consequence and byproduct to that is the definition of insanity. You know, I'm a butcher, what's a cow? I'm a baker, what's a cake? I'm a fisherman, what's a boat? I'm an environmentalist, I'm a human rights activist, what's Fukushima? So I'm going to go to sea for 5 years. The Bonneville, you look up the number, look what the Bonneville number was. I mean, they were almost record numbers. This is acute, like my cancer was. This was not this. This was... Stats professor, we call that an outliner. So something obviously happened. The emperor has no fucking clothes, no tide pools, no clue, and no fucking salmon. Stay tuned.